Chicago, welcome into the Chicago Sports Podcast, live from the West Loop in Chicago. What's up, everyone? I am Kevin Kaduk, head of content at CHGO, joined as always, to my left, Kacy Standohar and Mark Carman. Behind the board is Lawrence Benedetto. Thank you for joining us. It is a Thursday afternoon in the fine city of It's January. It's New Year. It's 2024.
It's like the worst time. Like January is the worst month.
It's not great.
It's like a dead month where nothing's really going on.
Couldn't be more excited about Bears Packers. Couldn't be more excited.
I know, and we're going to talk about that. But I just from a weather emotional standpoint, January is the worst.
You made it through the holidays. Holidays can be tough for some people.
That's true. But I always get the blues after the holidays because it's like you're on a high and everything's like fun and you're with family and friends and you're doing a lot of fun stuff. And then it's like, oh.
Back into the grind.
Yeah.
Did you make any resolutions, either of you, and have you broken them?
I don't know if I've made any like hard resolutions. I have some workout related resolutions. So
Run the marathon again?
So I ran over 600 miles last year. I want to hit 800 miles this year.
Couldn't be me. Could never be me.
You asked.
Wait, you want to run more this year than you did last year, the year that you ran the marathon?
I'm running the marathon again. So
you're running the marathon again?
Yeah.
You are something.
That's impressive.
That's amazing.
I thought you were in. Cody Del Mendo.
I didn't know. Cody's in?
No, I don't know. I just made that up.
Okay.
I didn't really make any hard and fast like goals. I probably should. I think I'm going to do that.
You worked out
weekend.
this morning. You did yoga.
I did. I went to a yoga class at Free People. Shout out. I like their studio.
It's very weird. The two workout classes that I've been to earlier this week, not that crowded. I don't think a lot of people made workout related.
Like 5 people in my class.
Yeah. I think everyone saw it. Not a lot of people are working this week.
Yeah.
Traffic has been very, very light.
It's been beautiful. Let me ask you something. One of my resolutions is to not look at my phone while I'm in my car, and I am already failing miserably.
That's dangerous.
Do you guys have any strategies?
Put it in the back seat, put it in the trunk.
You don't drive, so you can't.
I know, but sometimes I do, and I only try to use it for navigation.
Like, when are you looking at it?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Because somebody texts me and I get excited. I want to know what it is.
While you're driving?
That's dangerous.
Of course, everybody does.
No.
Really?
Well, I have the Apple CarPlay, so it pops up.
Yeah.
And it gets read to you. Get an Apple
Try
CarPlay.
not to do
That
that
would help.
Try not
Apple
to do that,
CarPlay.
Climb. That's
Apple
very
CarPlay,
dangerous.
Yeah. Go to Ray Auto. Ask them what Apple CarPlay options there are.
I could do that. All right, Ray Scarpelli, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, don't I look like The Rock in the 90s?
You totally do.
I can do the eyebrow.
You are The Rock.
But you're not wearing the jeans.
You're not doing the eyebrow at all.
I can't do the eyebrow. I need like the mom jeans, but I feel like he wears the black turtleneck, the chain. He has the sideburns.
Did you plan on this?
No, when I got ready, I was like, I look like The Rock, and I'm still going to go to work like this. I didn't change.
Don't change.
I'm going to work on the eyebrow.
I thought deeply about my outfit today. So did you, Kevin. I know you did.
No, not really. Just put on a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Put on a hat. My buddy texted me this morning. He's like, I feel like I want to completely like unprompted. I want to punch any grown person who wears a hat indoors.
What?
I just like took a picture of myself.
I love a hat indoors.
Do you?
Love a hat moment. Okay. I always wear hats.
I was like, I don't want to do my hair today. Hat goes on.
Hat doesn't mean it's for outdoors. That's a silly thing.
I just have such good hair going on right now that I can't.
You do actually.
Do you like the hair?
You do actually have a good.
I'm going for big hair.
You're going for
big
length.
hair, that's a resolution.
Kevin, you get credit for this. Like you've got the big hair going. I'm like, you know what? Kata can do it. It's being leaned in all over the place. Everyone's getting the wave and the stuff. And now it's a part of my day. I get the products out. I get excited.
Soon you're going to have hockey lettuce.
Hockey lettuce?
Yeah, you're going to have the lettuce.
Oh, okay.
Waterfall.
Yeah, I don't think that I'm not going that far, but
you might.
it's true. You never know.
I want to thank everyone for joining us. Make sure you hit that like button. And we've got a lot of Bears talk up ahead. Maybe some Cubs talk, some Bulls talk. Mostly Bears because it is Bears-Packers week. First off, though, our Taking Care of Business Award, powered by ComEd, goes to Bears wide receiver DJ Moore. Monster game against the Atlanta Falcons. 9 catches, 159 yards, 1 touchdown. And for his efforts, he gets snubbed by the Pro Bowl. Now, I know it was a loaded Pro Bowl field for wide receiver, particularly NFC. Carm, do you think, on a rating of 1 to 10, what was that snub?
You know, we talked about it on CHGO Bears today, but I didn't really lean into as much as I think he got snubbed. Puka Nacua? Really? I mean, I know he's had a great year, but would you rather have Puka Nacua or DJ Moore? I'm taking DJ Moore. Mike Evans? He's had a great year too, but to me, that's a respect factor. I think it's at least a 6 in my mind.
I think that's about right.
It's not a 10. I mean, obviously.
And what do his numbers look like if Fields, doesn't miss those 4 games?
Sure.
And he gets targeted more than twice the last Packers game. That didn't work out well.
Well, and even more so than Fields being injured, what was if the Bears had figured out how to run their offense earlier? First game against the Green Bay Packers, all training camp, all Justin Fields did was throw him the ball, and then he gets 2 targets in the first game.
That was weird.
Come on, Luke Getsy. You're better than that, Luke Getsy. You're now better than that, Luke Getsy. So they should have – they figured it out. And, the Washington game was obviously his signature moment, 230 yards, and that was early in the season, but they still started out slow.
I did enjoy the video the Bears posted, though, of Flus surprising Johnson and Montez Sweat.
That was great.
They acted like they were going to be, I don't know, given some other explanation, and it was cute.
Yeah.
Look at the Flus surprising people.
I watched that. Obviously, the vibes are so good in Hallis Hall, and I watched that, and I was like, why is this team so adverse to being on Hard Knocks? And obviously, in the past, they have not had a team that you necessarily want to show off to the world. You don't want to show off your incompetence,
and
right?
Didn't it really come down to Justin Fields' decision where he was like, I don't want the distraction? Did he get that much of a say?
Yeah, but it goes so many more levels up above him. The McCaskies don't want any part of it. A lot of teams don't want it. But again, the most likely the Bears will be eligible for it because they won't have a first-year head coach probably, and they won't have been a playoff team. And those are the 2 things that get you out of it. And I think we're looking at a thing if the Bears keep on riding this positive wave and they keep on feeling like they're going into a great 2024. Now, maybe if that changes, if you get rid of Fields and you don't want to put Caleb Williams in front of the camera. But if you're the Bears and you beat the Packers this week and everything is great and you are going through 9 months of everyone being fired up, how are you not on Hard Knocks next year?
I don't think they're gonna. I think it's just because they're an old franchise. They're
Absolutely.
just not. They're just never going to be the guys who do that.
But Kevin's point is a good one. You have something that you should be proud of. Your locker room is littered with great people who are pulling in the same direction. So it's not something to run away from.
Yeah.
And the Bears social media team just put out a day in the life of Kevin Warren. Here's Kevin getting up at 8:15. At 8:35, he's working out. Then he's in his garage. I'm serious. Then he's in his garage washing the car at 9:15. Now he's in the shower washing himself.
Okay. We don't need.
I'm just telling, but they literally went they showed him washing the car and when he left. And
washing himself.
Okay. I went a little far. You're right.
This is a good quote from Dustin here. A comment: the Vegas Raiders will be on Hard Knocks once they make Jim Harbaugh their coach.
And Caleb Williams could be there. That's my other hot take for this show. The Ryan Poles should trade the number 1 pick to the Las Vegas Raiders because there is no way that Caleb Williams would work out with the Las Vegas Raiders. That's a bad team. That's a poverty franchise. Yeah. So Ryan Poles would be ensuring that there'd be no way that the Bears would regret trading away Caleb Williams. What do you think of that, Carm?
It's a great topic and we're going to have some shows to do here between now and March, whatever, when he does make his decision here or all the way to the draft in April. So,
I mean, it should go into the calculus because it went into the calculus of last year's pick. Ryan Poles looked at the Panthers and said, this is a team that could be picking number one last year. And he was right.
So I do wonder, did he actually have that thought? Like, how much was that into the equation?
I think it should have been. I mean, I don't.
Yeah. Maybe it was. Maybe it was. That was exactly as like. I really think that they're going to be a bottom 5 team. We're gonna pick it super high again. So yes,
Right.
I love this deal for us.
I have a question about back to Jim Harbaugh. Is it true that him and Kevin Warren do not get along from the Big Ten days, and that's why he would probably not ever be the Bears head coach?
I mean, I'm sure it is. Like Kevin Warren was at odds with all of the Big Ten coaches trying to navigate a very tricky situation with the pandemic.
I was with a major media
That's
personality last night, and this topic came up, and he kind of flippantly said, like, "Yeah, no, those guys don't get along." I'm like, "Do you know that, or is that just a thing?"
Is that the rumor?
And then so his response was, "Well, that's what I was told." Like everyone's everyone's been told it.
Yeah.
I don't. If Kevin Warren really thought that Jim Harbaugh was the right guy for the job, you telling me that some beef from the Big Ten in Michigan and the pandemic would get in the way? I don't believe that. That would be ridiculous.
That's fair.
I think there's more obstacles in the way of a Bears Harbaugh marriage than I don't think that's at the top of the list, but I think it could contribute.
About 11 million
Warren's
obstacles.
feelings.
I mean, are the Bears paying? If you pay Jim Harbaugh, he's going to be the highest paid coach in the NFL. Are the Bears the franchise that does that?
McCaskey's aversion to hiring a strong-headed head coach. Dustin says, I wrote a column yesterday on the Raiders trading with the Bears for the number 1 pick in exchange for Max Crosby and picks. I've seen that float around. I freaking love that. Max Crosby lining up opposite Montez Sweat is a dream.
I'm stuck on Jim Harbaugh for 1 second.
Let's go back to Jim.
Well, I just am envisioning Kacy becoming sideline NFL and just having to interview Jim Harbaugh as a Bear and having him give you really weird answers and you having to handle it.
I like when he always puts someone else like Blake Corum or something. Interview this guy.
Right, yeah.
Just talk to this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, but probably Holly Rowe had questions planned for Harbaugh, which is fine. Roll with the punches, but he kind of acts weird.
He is a weird
those.
cat.
Yeah.
Not just during those. He's weird.
What would you have done if the person, who was the guy that replaced him, who was coaching him, and then he was like, he got all emotional? You know what I'm talking about? The assistant coach when Harbaugh was suspended.
Oh, Sharon Moore.
Yeah. What would you have done in that situation?
I loved the way that Jenny Taft did that interview. I thought she did a nice job. But I do feel like the crying was a little dramatic. A little bit of, alligator tears. It was kind of
I feel like if I was in that position, I would just like start laughing.
I mean, but you wouldn't.
Can't.
In the moment, you wouldn't. She probably was just like, she was smiling and taking it in. Because when you're in that moment, you're like, you're kind of sure that they're crying and they're saying something, but you're also thinking about what you're going to do next. So it like, you kind of can like only half listen anyway sometimes. And I was caught off guard by his emotion. Because
are you surprised at my tears, sir?
I mean, because they acted like Harbaugh was like exiled to a foreign country, or like he died,
and then it was through no fault of his own.
Yeah, they acted like he died.
Yeah,
and it was just Anyway, I could go about my Michigan feelings.
If you could, just as a sideline reporter, continue to encourage men to have feelings. It's the new model of manliness. You got to wearing your heart on your...
We love an emotional coach. We love an emotional athlete.
Yes.
I love it.
That's right. I'm going to be coming... You know what I'm going to do? 2024. Emotional podcaster. Going to cry each pod. At some point...
You're going to be the Dick Vermeil of podcasting.
I'm going to try to find something in the show that's moving me, and then I'm going to lean into it and speak on it until something comes out of my eyes, and then we can move along.
Yeah.
Not starting today.
You know the worst athletes to interview after a match are?
Who?
Wrestlers.
What? You've interviewed a wrestler after a match?
I had to cover wrestling like when I covered high schools, and I had to cover NCAA championships once, and it sucks because both the winners and losers are sobbing. The losers are sobbing because they just got their asses kicked. It's tough. I understand it. That's like it's hard to be a wrestler. Like you get emasculated in front of everyone. You get, that. So I understand why those people are sobbing. The winners are sobbing just because they're starving and like had to make weight.
I can't talk to you right now. I need a cheeseburger.
Like, why are you so emotional? I'm so hungry. I'm starving.
My blood sugar is low.
I cannot wait to eat a cheeseburger.
All right, let's talk about the title of today's show. Can the Chicago Bears and Justin Fields actually pull off a win against the Packers? And I think it's of course it is possible. They are 7-9 coming into this game. The Packers are only one game better, right? It is on the table. But the Bears have lost 14 of their last 15. Haven't won since the last game, or last month of 2018.
Talking about against Green Bay.
Correct. The vibes are so good in Chicago right now. Have been for the last 2 weeks. And I just feel like we are getting just set up for another kick in the crotch.
Well, Kevin, the only Packers game when we go back in time that is of relevance to me is this year's, because Aaron Rodgers is no longer there. Jordan Love is maybe turning into something a whole lot better than what Bears fans wanted, but we've only lost to Love once, damn it. So we have a chance to become 500 against Love. And different Bears team than week one. Yeah. There's just no, I mean, there's no other team in the NFL that has transformed this year as much as the Bears have from the way they started to where they are now. So you can make that a part of your large optimism. But, hey, look, Bears are still climbing up the mountain. So to say, like, you know exactly what's going to happen when you walk in there on Sunday and feel super confident that we're getting the Packers because we're just this new Bears team, that's a pretty big leap.
Kacy, what do you think is going to happen?
I feel like there's a lot of momentum shifting for the Bears, which is great.
True.
I think that could work in their favor. I think they know how to finish the rest of this regular season strong. I'm optimistic too. I'm with Bears fans. I think they could win.
Word on the street is that you're going up there on Sunday?
I am not. That would be fun.
That was word on the street?
Yeah,
no, I just made that up, honestly. But
I would love to go up there.
Like
little
I know
little remote.
Our fine media friend who loves this program, David Kaplan, is going. I think that Kevin, I don't know, obviously Nicholas Moriano's going. It would be a fun place to be on Sunday.
I went a few years ago to this game at Lambeau.
Really?
Yeah, I think the Packers won.
I'm sure
the Packers won.
Unless it was in 2015.
No, I think it was 19 maybe. 18 or 19. I don't know
what that game was. I'm sure it was
a
rout. It was probably at
freezing.
night.
It was freezing. That's what I know.
Yeah.
Did you drink?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember?
Tailgated a little bit. I wasn't crazy.
Okay.
I've only been to one game in the stands there and covered a handful. Mm-hmm. It's fun atmosphere. Unapologetic Truth says 31-14 Bears. Bears Junkie 23 Hall of Fame says, I'm right where he is. He's referring to me. I'm literally expecting the worst when it comes to the Green Bay game. And then Bobby Speaks says, this is the perfect time for the Bears to wet the bed on national TV. The odds have to be in their favor for a good game.
Are you picking Green Bay, Kevin?
I am trying to stay positive. I think the Bears are going to win this game for these three reasons. Whoa. Number one, no Aaron Rodgers, like you said.
Well, yeah.
Number two, if they actually win this game, it will hurt their draft status, and that kind of tracks with what we've known for the Bears. You know, usually when they have to win a game that doesn't matter, they will win it because it will affect their draft status adversely. And then, what was my third reason? I had a third reason.
You didn't write him down?
Damn it. I like rehearsed this with
Justin Fields?
Justin Fields, number 3. Justin Fields wasn't number 3.
There you go.
No, I think the vibes are good. So I think that they're going to pull this off. I hope they pull this off. I mean, that Green Bay defense isn't great. So as long as the Bears defense can make life for Jordan Love pretty hard, I think they can do it. So it's going to be fun.
I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it is Thursday, and you're about to send the email. Get your picks in.
You don't have to. Yeah, you can wait.
What's your pick?
At this particular moment in time, I am going to pick the Packers to win a close game. But I reserve the right to change that before the picks are in and before the CHGO Bears pregame at 11 o'clock on Sunday.
Well, you heard it here first. I actually saw Aaron Rodgers just a few days ago.
You did?
He was on the sidelines for the Jets at Browns game.
Oh, well, that would make sense.
Yeah. So I got to go on the field for a little bit.
The Jets quarterback cool. who has opinions on the Bears-Packers rivalry.
Yeah, you need to stay out of Bears-Packers there, Aaron.
He's got to stay out of a lot of things. Yeah. We're going to talk about that coming up. First off, though, I want to tell everyone about Empire Today. With Empire Today, you get shop-at-home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a low price guarantee. Empire Today is the best place to get new flooring. So, of course, they have copycats, but Empire cannot be beaten on quality, service, speed. So all those competitors we're talking about, they advertise low-quality products that Empire simply will not carry. Empire will not promise the lowest prices because anyone who does that is putting flooring in your home they would not put in their own. Empire, if you want to check things out, whatever kind of flooring you're looking for, Empire has the options. And they have a virtual floor designer, which is a great way to see how new floors will look in any space. It's easy, just snap a picture and instantly you see how new floors are going to look in your own home. Shopping for floors at a big box store can be frustrating. You might talk to someone today who was working in plumbing yesterday, but flooring is all Empire Today does. It's their business. They live and breathe flooring, so you can be confident you're getting honest, upfront advice. And they pride themselves on that convenient shop-at-home service. They help customers shop for floors where they use their floors, so you're not just sitting there in a showroom and wondering what that's going to look like. You can schedule a free in-home estimate today. All CHGO listeners can receive $350 off when they use the promo code CHGO. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/CHGO for details.
So if you're going on the secondary market and you want to buy tickets, you know where to go. You know what to do. And if you don't, listen up. It's Game Time Tickets. Download the app right now. Concerts, sporting events, shows, anything you possibly need in your last-minute ticket world, they've got it for you. They've got all-in prices, views from your seat, best price guarantee. Find a better seat in the same section. They will not only give you that price, but they'll give you 110% of that price. So they're going to save you money. Game Time, taking the guesswork out of buying tickets. So this is what you do now. You download the Game Time app, you create an account, you use the code CHGO, and then on your first purchase, you get $20 off. $20 off first purchase, terms apply. Create the account, redeem code CHGO, $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed.
Appreciate everyone joining us today for the Chicago Sports Podcast. Make sure you hit that like button. We're talking Bears, Packers, and one thing I had written down is it does seem like everyone, the script has flipped on Justin Fields, not only locally, but you're seeing some nationally too. I mean, I saw a clip of a Steelers podcast where like, man, if you could trade for Justin Fields, you got to trade for Justin Fields, get him into a Steelers
people
uniform.
Want him?
Right.
We're not even sure we do.
And I almost kind of, to me, it almost kind of like seems like I felt like everyone kind of just rushed at the end of last year. Like Justin Fields sucks. They got to trade him so they can get Bryce Young. And I thought, well, I think we went a little too fast.
Yeah.
Now this seems a little too fast the other way. One thing that I do want to talk about is some of this is Justin Fields' likability and within the locker room. How much of okay, obviously you want to say, okay, of course that does matter. Locker room chemistry matters. But when you're actually doing an objective evaluation of should we keep Justin Fields or move on from him, how much should the likability matter? How much the fan base wants him matter?
You first, Kacy.
I think likability is peripheral. I don't think that should be everything. Mm-hmm. I do think like the majority of the Bears fan base does like him and the front office likes him and Poles and McCaskey's, he's the guy. So that's all like already there. But I feel like there's been like villainous, unlikable quarterbacks. I can't think of any examples.
Jay Cutler.
I don't know, like that still do very well for teams, and it doesn't matter.
Not Jay Cutler.
Cool, likable. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, did everybody in New England love Tom Brady?
I think so.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I don't know if that likability like changes anything.
So, well, okay. I think in the locker room it
does.
is worth something. The fact that
compatibility with your teammates and whether or not you're easy to work with. Mm-hmm. But I mean likability as far as like the fans.
You can't base this decision on
Yeah.
Jim in the 16th row in section 353. I agree. You can't base it on G. Braggs Jr. showing up at 8:15 doing shots and saying he loves Justin Fields. Don't do it for that reason.
Right.
But you can base it on this guy's gotten. I saw someone who I am Skokes. His stats are a carbon copy from last year, respectfully. Yes, they are. But come on, man. You can't say watching Justin right now that you haven't seen him get a whole lot better than where he was. I think it's obvious that not only has Fields gotten better, but that the offense has finally gotten a rhythm that they've talked about for really since Matt Eberflus and Luke Getsy got her. They've been searching for it. I think they found it. So it's a hard thing to blow up, man, because he's likable. He's here. You have unknowns in who you're drafting. Your question is, does the likability matter? I think it does, but is it enough? To me, that all comes down to, what do you think of Caleb Williams?
Right.
How much do you like him? Because if he loves Caleb Williams, it ain't gonna matter. But if he's in the middle on Caleb and he's worried about some of the stuff that's off, then it might have a good level of impact.
Same conversation this time last year about Bryce Young.
Right, and
versus Fields.
Exactly, and he did not like Bryce Young.
Yeah.
He didn't like C.J. Stroud, so he said he had to be blown away, I believe was his wording, Ryan Poles. So I'm assuming that would be the case right now too. He'd have to be blown away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ryan, are you blown away?
Tell us,
Ryan, or somebody.
These next 4 months are just going to be. I mean, it's great for us because there's not a more interesting team in football right now. I mean, I really believe that. I mean, obviously, someone going to the playoffs is going to have some pretty cool moments. But in terms of actual debates and different things, I mean, you have the number 1 pick in the draft. You have a possible quarterback trade. You've got a team that seems to be coming together. You have a coaching debate. There's so many different things going on.
You've got Phil Snow. You've got the stadium stuff. No, the Bears are wildly entertaining right now. Even last year at the 3-14 debacle, they were in so many games, and you had the Fields watch going on. It was and then at the end of the year, of course, the crazy last day with Indy and Houston. Like, that was an incredibly fun season. They won 3 games. I said, I think at the time, that was the greatest 3-14 season ever. So even if they finish 7-10 or 8-9, I'll probably say the same thing on Sunday because I love to repeat myself in my thoughts.
You do?
You noticed that?
I'm kidding. Yeah, a little. But I like that about you.
We're gonna have a talk after the show.
Redundancy is key.
I need to know what
Repetition
you're saying.
is key.
I need coaching.
No, I'm kidding.
I don't think you are.
To me, like, one of the hard things in evaluating this is, okay, you have a team that does seem ready to win now with some additions, and you really want to put in a rookie quarterback and kind of making that judgment. Okay, could this guy come in and then, all right, who's better for the next 10 years? Is it Caleb Williams? Is it Justin Fields?
So that's the thing, right? Do you make the decision? You can't make the decision, or you should make the decision based on who brings us closer to a Super Bowl next year. It's more who brings us closer to a Super Bowl over the next 5 years. It gives us the most shots at.
But things change in the NFL so quickly, so why shouldn't it be the next? I understand you're building an organization and you want to build a franchise that we haven't had. Like, this has not been a franchise. Probably, I mean, even arguably in the 80s. I mean, that team was built, but they didn't keep it together. I mean, they only won one.
Okay.
But you look right now at what Ryan Poles has set up. You have DJ Moore for below market value. Like, Montez Sweat at some point, that it's not going to be that expensive of a contract. Mm-hmm. If you stick with Justin Fields, then you have Marvin Harrison Jr. for 5 years before you have to pay him. You have TJ Edwards for not a lot of money. You have Andrew Billings for not a lot of money. It's pretty awesome, like, what he's done to this point.
Yeah, does he look at it, though, that we are 1 or 2 players away from legitimately competing for a Super Bowl? If he does think that, then I would think he'd be less likely to move on from Justin. How high is Poles on? I know he's got to be thrilled of how much progress he's made. He should be. But how close does he think they actually are? Maybe he thinks they're super close. That could be a huge factor in his decision. I don't know if you guys know, but we don't know. And this is I did not have this on my dance card.
Sorry.
That we were I knew it was going to be a really interesting time, which is why I was like loving, when CHGO was starting and okay, fine, no teams are winning, but the Bears are a huge story right now. And like this offseason was setting up to be the most interesting time, and here we are. But we got to wait and see what tea leaves Ryan Poles is going to drop in the next for a while here.
How much do you think the outcome of this Packers game is going to have on, if any, on any decision making?
We had that conversation today too, and Hogue thinks it's a lot. I think it matters.
Yeah, you can't have week one. You cannot have a repeat of week one.
Well, if for Flus, for Fields, for Yetzi, if they come out there and they lay an egg offensively, and that's how you end the season, that's not going to feel great. Now, if they go out there and they put up a boatload of points and they win, and the fan base that's a lot to move off of, man. That's a lot of heat. So I sort of wonder what Poles is rooting for this week. Like, would he almost prefer? And I assume he's rooting for them to win and move closer to taking the North and never giving it back. But there's got to be at least some part of him like, okay, phew, he did nothing. I have the freedom to do whatever I want to do with a little bit less heat from the fan base if indeed he wants to move along.
Am I the only person that's ever sneezed on the show?
No.
I feel like twice that's happened to me.
Did you sneeze?
Yeah.
Just now?
It was very quiet. I tried to hold it all in and it kind of hurt.
If I sneezed, it would be an issue because I can never sneeze just once.
Yeah.
Do you have another one coming?
No. I'm not like a multiple sneezer person. When.
I think you're allergic to Carm.
Yeah, I think that's it.
That's very possible.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail the conversation. Just noticed that.
Can we talk about Aaron Rodgers real quick?
Let's do that.
What do you make of this whole thing with Jimmy Kimmel?
I want to know why he used his name. Just for fun? He just threw it out there? That's damaging.
A little bit.
Well, Jimmy's taking a ton of shots at him in his monologue.
That's true.
And so he's pissed.
For all the anti-vax stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Jimmy had fun with him, but Aaron opened himself up to it. And it's late night talk show host.
Right.
Don't be so sensitive. Be on your own side.
I was reading comments about all the drama of that after Jimmy Kimmel's tweet, and someone was like, Jimmy, you ruined the man show. And then I forgot that he was on that show. Do you guys remember that show?
Oh, yeah.
Way back when?
Yeah, with Adam Carolla.
It would never have worked today.
And that's what gets thrown at Jimmy Kimmel whenever he kind of
says anything. Yeah.
So, I mean, some of that stuff though too. It's like,
no, it would never fly.
It was a different world.
Yeah.
I love the idea that Bob Iger is somewhere sitting in his golden pajamas with Willow Bay, and he's trying to figure out how to save the Marvel franchise and how to actually make a good Star Wars movie that somebody wants to watch. And he gets a call that the top star at ABC, or one of them at least, I guess, is at war with the top star from ESPN. Those are both Disney properties, and the guy from ABC is threatening a lawsuit against the other guy. And you just got to be, Iger's got to be thinking, why do I need any of this shit?
Rodgers is not going to respond.
He hasn't yet.
Kimmel said, for the record, I've not met with, flown with, visited, or had any contact whatsoever with Epstein. Basically, he goes on to say, your words put my family in danger. Keep it up, and we will debate the facts further in court. That's a threat, brother.
Well, the one thing I do love about the fact, we've had to sit there and eat shit from Green Bay quarterbacks for 30 years, and they're 35-0 against the Bears in that time, I think. Or at least it seems that way.
26-5.
Yeah.
But who's counting?
And their punishment is to actually these guys actually post Green Bay career. You got one guy who's who's stealing from the poor down in Mississippi and going to the thing for that. And then you got Aaron Rodgers, who's somehow even more unlikable than that guy.
That is amazing. Aaron Rodgers Brett Favre is literally taking money from poor people, yet people hate Rodgers more because he's such an ass. That's impressive. Congratulations.
Well, I just think it's that Rodgers gets himself in the political conversation, and that becomes more polarizing for everybody.
Well, Favre is...
it's not even the political aspect of it. It's like I'm smarter than everybody, and I need to go on this show where this guy's not wearing sleeves and hooting and hollering about Lord knows what, and half of the ESPN watchers don't want to watch Pat McAfee, and he's getting paid $1 million a year to go on that.
Yeah. It said last year Kimmel poked fun at Rodgers after he suggested on the Pat McAfee show that the increased discussion over UFO sightings could be a distraction from Epstein's list. Like, he says the weirdest stuff.
Yep. You're going to open yourself up to be made fun of.
So were you close enough to see people yelling things at Aaron Rodgers in Cleveland?
I was really close. I'll have to show you guys the video. We were like as far as we are from the door, really. Wow. But no, I didn't hear anybody yelling anything.
You didn't yell anything at him?
No, I didn't. Yeah.
Like, everyone at CHGO hates you.
I was on the field with my dad's company, lanyard on my neck. I didn't want to cause a ruckus. Okay. You know, you're in that like friends and family area with like coaches' wives. And
the next thing you know, you're on TMZ. That's aspiring sideline journalist Kacy Standohar yelling at.
I don't want to do that for many reasons.
Not great.
But he was there. He was talking to somebody I didn't recognize.
You're a professional. Oh
my God, thanks.
You would never.
Can't do that.
No.
Plus, Kaylee Hardong was around, and I didn't want to make myself like a total jerk in front of her. So I was very polite to Mr. Rodgers.
Right. He literally thought he was being funny and telling a joke. That's how I think and he's got beef too, but he which just shows his judgment is just so off. Like, that is not... You can't lump somebody with Jeffrey Epstein.
He crosses the line and doesn't even realize that he crosses it, for sure.
Or maybe he realizes it, but he doesn't have the full calculus of like what everything that is going to matter because of it.
I think we just set a record for the amount of times the word calculus was used on a CHGO podcast. Congrats.
That's terrible.
That was your New Year's resolution.
Kacy hasn't used it yet, so we'll see if she can work it.
I'm not a big fan.
That'll be your challenge for the final 20 minutes of the show, Kacy. Find it. We actually used to play this game at a press box. Someone would say, just name a word, and if someone could actually work it into their game story, everyone else would have to give them $5.
People try to get me to like say a phrase to a player or during a broadcast.
Yeah,
I haven't yet found the courage to do it.
I want to tell everyone about Midtown. Speaking of New Year's resolutions, Midtown is our favorite athletic club, and they have 4 Chicagoland locations: Palatine in the northwest burbs, Bannockburn in the North Shore, Willowbrook in the southwest suburbs, and Midtown Athletic Club and Hotel in the middle of Bucktown and Lincoln Park. Midtown Palatine, which I think we may be doing a remote podcast from there soon, has launched a multi-million-dollar transformation of the club, which will be complete in early 2024. And Midtown right now is offering no initiation fees this January at their Bannockburn, Palatine, and Willowbrook locations. Midtown has something at their clubs for everyone, whether you're single, families with kids, people looking to make lifestyle changes, people with resolutions to keep. And when you do get there, you are arriving at the athletic club that is probably nicer than anyone you've ever been to.
So nice.
Super luxe locker rooms with wet and dry saunas.
You can study for your calculus test inside the main lounge.
You could if you're a college student. Amazing outdoor and indoor pools and hot tubs. They have a collection of boutique fitness studios, so you don't have to go around and join all different kinds, whether it's high intensity interval training or spin and cycling, boxing. They have everything under one roof. They also have the best tennis courts and programming in the sport or the area. Midtown has indoor, outdoor tennis, pickleball, and paddle tennis. They are USTA and professional quality all the way. If you check out Carm's social feed, you'll see him whacking balls down there. Anyway, head over to midtown.com/CHGO to find out more and to tour the Midtown Athletic Club nearest you.
Whacking balls.
Whacking balls and banging grannies.
That's had to go there. Way to double down on that. Well done. So, Kacy, what else?
Well, it's getting easier for businesses to switch to electric vehicles, and that's something we can all get behind for the health of the planet and for the well-being of all of us who share it.
That's exactly right, Kacy. The electric grid is evolving. It's evolving to meet your clearer energy needs as we all move with confidence towards an electric tomorrow. Whether you have one delivery van or a whole fleet of shipping trucks, ComEd can help guide you to make the changes that make the most sense.
So what should business owners do, Carmen?
Well, you know exactly what you should do. You should go to ComEd.com/clean. You're going to learn more about the resources, fleet rebates, and infrastructure incentives available to help businesses go electric. If you own a business, do not wait. Do it right now. Live your dream. Start making your plan today to switch to electric vehicles. It's good for business. It's good for the planet. Good for all of us. Go to ComEd.com/clean.
Carm, did you say ComEd.com/clean?
You bet your sweet bippy. ComEd.com/clean. Go now and see how going electric connects us to a better way of doing business and a better future for generations of CHGO listeners to come.
Awesome. I have a pretty interesting debate question that I saw on social media this week by our friend from WGN, Michael Piff.
Love him.
The Piffer.
He had a question. You're building a Mount Rushmore of active Chicago athletes. People who are on their rosters now. Who are the 4 representatives on that Mount Rushmore?
I feel like no one deserves it. I don't know.
You got.
Well, okay.
Connor Bedard.
Yes. Do you say Justin Fields?
You can. Do you? I think it's an
I need
adorable
more time
choice.
to decide. But yes, I do.
So
I do say Justin
I
Fields.
responded to Piff's thing, and I did not name Justin Fields, but I feel like, okay, if he stays here, then yes. But we talk about him every day, so I think he does have to be on there. So I think it's Bedard. I think it's Fields.
Who else?
So I would go with Boo Buie, Northwestern point guard. And no, seriously though, like, who's the Cub that's on there right now? I have no idea. Who's the White Sox that's on? Look, Luis Robert probably has the best case of
Luis
anybody.
Robert Jr., but he, like, for as talented as he is, he doesn't quite have the Q rating that he probably should. But I do think Luis Robert Jr. is the 3rd person on there.
If we're talking about young, talented guys, it's got to be Bedard, Fields.
Well, we're not talking about young, talented guys. We're talking about the Mount Rushmore
of athletes that are playing right now.
Yeah.
Well, then if that's the case, like, it's unfair to put Bedard on there. He's been doing this for 18 minutes. But
he's about to make his first All-Star team. Like,
okay, so the Mount Rushmore of current Chicago athletes is a rookie who's about to make his first All-Star team. That's amazing. It shows how poor things have gone.
Tony throws out DJ Moore.
Also been here for 5 seconds and didn't make the Pro Bowl, and that's just. I mean, he's had a great year.
Guys, this is the worst Mount Rushmore ever.
It's a bad.
So like I think
It's
like,
a
I
bad.
think like
Just
last
give Connor
I
Bedard
think
a statue.
last year, like we're sitting here having a debate over Zach LaVine versus DeMar DeRozan. I don't know necessarily that.
I'd rather put Kobe White on it than those two, and I like both of them, and borderline love DeMar.
Here's one who I did throw out on Piff, Kalia Copper. He's got the
I was
chip.
gonna say, is there a Sky player you put on
at
this point?
It's a great call by Kevin, but the Q rating is not going to make it.
Yeah.
Listen, scratch the Mount Rushmore stat. We just give Connor his own statue.
He's got his own mountain.
And praise him.
Mount Bedard.
That's it. That's all we need.
It's really crazy though
how far the mighty have fallen. I mean, we are in the greatest Cub right now is Nico Horner. I mean, that's so sad. No.
Everybody.
I love what's his name? Yeah, Christopher Morel. He's great.
What's his name?
Who's the starting pitcher
Mike
that I like?
Talkman.
Mike, yeah, the year of Talkman.
Marcus Stroman. No, wait, he opted out.
Yeah, and what's that?
Cody Bellinger. He may not come back.
What's that rookie's name? Justin Wilson.
For all the things that Stroman said about wanting to be a Cub and wanting to be, I don't know.
That's pretty interesting. Gohan versus Luffy says Craig Counsell.
I mean, that's about as good as it gets. The manager.
But he hasn't managed yet.
Who hasn't managed?
Let's do a coach Mount Rushmore.
Who do you leave off? Who do you leave off of the five?
No, you got it. You have to put Pedro Eberflus on there.
But you leave Pedro Grifol off.
Grifol has got
right now. Yeah, he hasn't proven himself.
He's got no case to go up there.
Oh my God.
Poor guy.
You're putting Luke Richardson and Billy Donovan up there and I have Eberflus for that reason.
Matt Eberflus, Mount Rushmore of.
I feel like Matt Eberflus would look the most like the current Mount Rushmore.
He would look good.
He just has the right. You're going with the Flus hair. I feel
I've
like
got it going on here.
Chicken sandwich has 4 different Flus heads. I love it. And Flus we trust. Put him on currency.
Oh God!
Did you see his
redeemable for 1 beef sandwich?
Did you notice his jeans yesterday in that video?
Yes, I did. He had saggy butt jeans. Poor guy.
No.
They were horrible.
Poor guy.
Bad color, bad sag.
The bad
man's
sag.
54 years old.
I
Give
don't
him a
care
break.
about the color. They were just. I mean, what's okay? He doesn't have.
He doesn't have what?
Like he doesn't have a big booty where it's like filling out these jeans. Most men.
You're the head
don't.
coach of the Chicago Bears. Wear jeans that fit. Spend $150 on a pair of jeans. You don't have to buy those were like literally the $40, $28 pair that you get at Target.
No.
Yes, he bought those at Target.
They had to be Levi's. They just didn't fit him that well.
Somebody should ask. I might ask him tomorrow. I'm going to Brad.
Ask him what jeans. What brand of jeans do you wear, Coach?
Flus was watching your video with Montez Sweat and Jalen. Thought it was super cool. By the way, though, your jeans, they just didn't fit. You had saggy Flus jeans. Chicken sandwich underlined it on the CHGO Sports podcast.
I feel bad.
I
feel bad for making fun of him.
Do you think that it's possible that you might invest more in your jeans because your players are definitely looking at you like you're as square as they come?
No, they love him. You know who has funny jeans on right now is our sales guy Jim. They keep getting shorter and shorter. He's just rocking the floods every day.
Is he getting taller?
He's like trying to pull them down, like
does
capri pants.
Does he know that you noticed that he's got bad jeans?
No, I mean, yeah, I said something to him.
And what did he say back?
He said, I know. I think my wife's playing a trick on me and like shrinking my pants. I said, just go buy new Flus jeans. You and Flus, go to Target.
Isn't that
get some new pants?
That's a Roald Dahl book, right? Where like they keep on chopping the wife is chopping the bottom of the chair off like an inch every day to screw with the with the husband.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah.
It's like an old folklore tale.
Probably. Speaking of calculus, you want to make the calculus when you're coming to sports gambling. Do the math. Opt for Circus Sportsbook.
Bang.
Circus Sportsbook offers that tight money line split and low hold model. All of their games strive to be a negative 110 split on the Circus Sports menu, unlike other sports books, which may use minus 115 or minus 120 or even bigger splits. Circus Sports keeps as little of your money as possible on large market bets like futures, golf tournaments, especially compared to other books. They offer high app limits and transparency. Circus Sports does not limit players based on their winnings. Every player has the same limits, unlike other books who do limit winning players. We encourage bettors to download and explore all sports betting apps available. You can compare those lines from each sports book and make your decision, but we're confident that you're going to check out Circus Sportsbook. And if you're still on the fence, Circus customer service should make up your mind for you because there are real people behind the Circus Sports brand who resolve issues in a timely fashion, unlike other books who use chatbots. All aspects of the app are being run by the same team that runs the main Circus Sportsbook at Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. So download the Circus Sports Illinois app at circusports.com/Illinois-app to sign up today. Also be on the lookout for Circa events, watch parties, and tailgates with CHGO. If you or someone you know have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text GAMB to 833-234 or visit areyoureallywinning.com.
Hello, my friends at Circus Sports Illinois.
Tony said, is Flus hiding his butt up his sleeves? That made me laugh.
I was wondering which one you were
Which one were you laughing at?
Oh, I mean, I thought all of them are fairly entertaining. You know what? The Bears media has it so good right now. Normally, the head coach of your football team you're terrified of. You walk in and you got anxiety about asking a question. Now, Kevin and I were talking about this before the show. It's the other way around. He's terrified of Courtney Cronin. He's terrified of Jason Leisure. He's terrified of Nicholas Moriano. He's terrified of Adam Hogue.
I don't think anyone's terrified of Nicholas Moriano.
Yeah, that's.
Nick busts out those nerd football questions with the best of them.
We should send Kacy up there and see if he's terrified of Kacy. Because
he would be
the real test.
I've been known to do a few tough nose press conference.
Matt
questions.
Kacy Standohar.
I'm usually the first to ask.
Yeah?
I got to ask Connor Bedard the first question.
You jump right in there?
I was like,
Right.
I know Bears will be a different story.
That would be
tough.
I'd pay money to see you go out there and be the first question and just jump Brad Biggs. That'd be jumped
After
in.
never being up there.
Yeah.
People would be like, who does she think she is?
Yes, they would.
I always like when like newbies go into a situation and like sit in someone's seat.
Oh, it's the best.
It's amazing.
Like
I'm scared of that.
Will Gottlieb is not a newbie, but he did that to Casey Johnson at Bulls this year. I couldn't believe it. Sat right in Casey's
It's
seat.
just a power move.
I'm like, you're sitting in Casey's seat.
Was that at media day we got moved back to?
Really?
Yeah.
This was at a regular game.
He was like, yeah, this is for the better media. Thank you.
Yeah.
Please get back.
Right.
You guys excited for the return of Zach LaVine? Imminent return of Zach
Is it
LaVine?
official that he's coming back tomorrow?
No, I think it's
Okay.
assumed.
I am interested to see how it'll play out.
I mean, after watching last night's game in New York, second night of a back-to-back, those dudes just ran out of gas. People weren't getting done. Patrick Williams had a bad night. Io had a bad night. They could kind of use them, but it's like, okay, how does the actual system actually work? Like, I hope that Billy Donovan has thought about it this way. I mean, because otherwise, I don't know. I do not want to return to the 5-14 start that they had.
I was paying close attention to how Zach was conducting himself on the bench, watching them in a close game that they beat Atlanta at home. And he was very engaged. So for someone who might end up playing elsewhere after the trade deadline and is being blamed for the terrible start, 5-14 that you just underlined, he's still rooting for his guys, at least some. So I'm giving him points for how he was getting out of his chair and putting his hands up and cheering. So Zach's not a bad guy. It's like it's like a kid who he's doing things that he doesn't completely understand almost.
I just feel like Chicago's just over him. I know that I am.
Oh, it was completely.
Yeah.
But
I never bought into it. I never really thought, okay, this is the Bulls' ticket to the top. And not that I disliked him. I mean, there was moments where he's hitting some pretty great shots. I mean, he's controlling the game. But at no point did I ever think I can foresee a day where Zach LaVine is
holding the Larry O'Brien trophy.
Correct. Zach. Thus, he does not belong on my Chicago Sports Mount Rushmore of active athletes.
The goal would be to get it to the second round. This team's goal would be to get past the play-in round.
Yeah.
If they can get
the Bucks.
If they can actually make it out of the play-in, that'd be amazing. Which, first of all, they have to hang
I'll take
into
it. I mean, with the Blackhawks being as hurt as they are, and you're basically just watching the game for Connor Bedard highlights, which is fine. That's a good place to be.
Yeah.
But man, like the Bulls. I mean, the Cubs apparently don't want to sign anyone. White Sox are signing people like Brett Phillips.
Big.
No.
Never heard of him.
No, you know Brett Phillips, the guy with the annoying laugh. He played for the Brewers and the Rays.
Okay, Brett Phillips.
Google Brett Phillips laugh.
Okay.
Not good.
Okay.
Not good.
Ravi's asked me if I go to a Mexican restaurant, what's your go-to? Ravi, I like everything at a Mexican restaurant. I'll go fajitas. I'll go burrito. I'll go taco. I'll go taco salad. I generally... I'm definitely getting a guac appetizer situation up. We got to kick it off. Give me a fresh guac with a little chippy.
Met Brett Phillips when he played for the Rays.
Yeah.
Because they were in town.
Remember the laugh?
No, I don't remember him laughing. So wait, he went to the Rays and then to the Phillies? Or the Angels, I mean?
He's a journeyman. I think he started with the Brewers, I think. Or maybe start with the I don't know.
Why doesn't Ravi?
He's not going to make an impact, basically.
Why doesn't Ravi want to know what I like at a Mexican restaurant?
What do you like at a Mexican restaurant, Kacy?
Everything too. Well, I usually go with a quesadilla or like what is
she
the
likes
thing?
a grilled cheese.
Just the cheese and the bun. No, what's the thing that's like rolled? What's the rolled?
Taquito?
No, I like taquitos though. I'll think of the name.
7-Eleven.
Elotes.
Did you just bust out elotes?
Elote corn.
Chimichanga.
So good. We had elote corn.
Chimichanga, delicious.
Nashville at the winter meeting.
She likes flautas.
Flautas, those are them. Thanks, Law.
We went out to get Mexican on New Year's Day. I splurged. I got the carne asada. Amazing. And the restaurant we went to, you got you got one enchilada with it, which was great. A little rojo enchilada. It was good.
I mean,
had margaritas.
Ravi, I'll crush a torta all day long. Love a good torta.
I've never imbibed.
Oh my God, good sandwich.
I feel like if I'm gonna like get a sandwich, I'm gonna go to like I don't know.
Tony's Burritos, Damon and Belmont, chicken burrito dinner.
Wow. Tony's Burritos is a great call.
That place is phenomenal.
Tony's Burritos is awesome. My brother used to live like 4 doors down from there.
I mean, whenever I'm in that neighborhood, I'll call him up. It's in my phone. It's just Tony's, nothing else. And like, chicken burrito dinner. Thank you so much. See you in 5. I mean, its thing is boom, and it's the fresh chicken off the bone. It's straight delicious.
Trevin wants to know: do you watch anime Sailor Moon?
Who? Not me.
I have no idea what that is.
I know what that is, but I've never seen it.
I know the term, but no idea.
It's like an anime cartoon show.
Yeah. Watching documentaries on Matsui and how he blocked for Walter Payton. I don't know what that is.
All right, that should do it for this week's episode of the Chicago Sports Podcast. I'm Kevin Kaduk, joined by Kacy Standohar and Mark Carman. Thanks to Lawrence Benedetto for producing the show. We will see you next Thursday, hopefully coming off a big Bears win against the Green Bay Packers. Thanks again for joining us. See you next week.
We all silly like the mayor.